The mist that shrouds the Highland glens is not merely atmospheric mood, but a collective silence woven from generations of unspoken grief. And true justice requires not piercing the veil with forensic certainty, but learning to listen to what the landscape has been trying to confess since long before the first body was found. In the Knapdale Murders, Daniel Sellers delivers a Scottish Highlands crime novel that transforms the rural noir trope into a profound exploration of communal memory and institutional accountability, proving that in regions defined by isolation, truth isn't found in solving the case. It's forged in the radical act of honoring the dead when systems demand you close the file. This isn't merely another Tartan noir tale with rain-slicked roads. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every clue feels like both evidence and elegy. Consent to investigate is negotiated through respect for lived experience rather than assumed authority, and healing means bearing witness to complexity when culture demands simplified narratives. From the first peat smoke narration, listeners are immersed in a world where silence is strategy and presence is the only reliable archive. Perfect for fans of emotionally grounded regional suspense and stories where female intuition defies patriarchal erasure. This audiobook serves up atmospheric dread, relentless emotional honesty, and protagonists whose journey from outsider investigators to integrated witnesses resonates with anyone who's ever sensed rot beneath the scenic veneer. When D.I. Alara Vance is dispatched to Knapdale to investigate a series of ritualistic killings, she expects procedural clarity, not to discover the crime scenes mirror the exact pattern of historical suppression used against women whose deaths were deemed accidental, and the local constable Julian Thorne's quiet hesitation reveals he's been carrying the same unspoken grief over lost community members that Alara has spent years editing out of professional detachment. But as they navigate boggy terrain and fractured trust, Alara realizes this investigation isn't about attribution, it's about integration. Sellers masterfully avoids reducing Alara to city slicker outsider or Julian to insular local. Instead, he crafts a partnership rooted in radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries even as danger blurs them, and where intimacy emerges from seeing each other beyond assigned roles. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Alara's disciplined focus softening into fierce clarity, and Julian's guarded intensity revealing warmth beneath stoic vigilance. You don't just hear the mystery unfold, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning that some truths can only be spoken when you stop letting institutions define what matters. What elevates the Knapdale Murders beyond typical Highland noir fare is its nuanced portrayal of rural crime as inherited trauma rather than individual villainy. Alara isn't merely solving murders, she's confronting how policing culture taught her to equate worth with results, challenging the notion that safety requires emotional distance. Julian doesn't assist her through compliance. He creates space where her intuition can lead without diminishment, honoring her autonomy even as his own institutional walls crumble. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences during stormbound stakeouts that bypass performance, establishing protocols that protect both operational integrity and psychological safety, and defending witnesses' right to grieve against superiors who mistake skepticism for obstruction. Supporting characters add vital texture: elderly residents whose loyalty encodes suppressed shame, crofters whose resilience carries intergenerational weight, even the Highlands themselves, rendered as living archive whose peat bogs absorb centuries of unspoken bargains. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In systems built on erasure, attention is insurgency, and presence is the only sustainable resource. Even the procedural mechanics serve thematic depth, with evidence logs mirroring emotional attunement, and terrain navigation becoming metaphors for earned trust. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into elemental reckoning. The narrator embodies Alara and Julian with remarkable distinction. Alara's voice carries crisp intelligence laced with dawning sovereignty, while Julian's low timbre trembles with suppressed tenderness beneath disciplined cadence, making their chemistry palpable even during conflict. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion. Distant wind across moors whacking temporal rhythm, rain against croft windows during vulnerable confessions, the hushed squelch of boots on wet earth sinking with breath during moments of clarity, all anchor mythic stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the cadence of Highland investigation, deliberate during reflection and alliance building, then surging with urgency as external pressures collide with internal awakenings. Whether you're commuting through urban landscapes or sitting in twilight solitude, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where slowness feels sacred and embodiment feels lifeline. Its storytelling is somatic validation, transforming passive listening into active participation in a journey where justice isn't found in verdicts, but in restoration. Ultimately, the Knapdale Murders redefine Scottish Highland crime fiction by centering female epistemology within regional frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for fair play clues and cathartic resolution, while delivering substantive commentary on rural neglect, masculine vulnerability, and the radical act of trusting embodied knowledge when systems demand conformity. As Book 1 in the Scottish Highland killing series, it establishes a foundation of emotional authenticity that promises depth throughout the saga, yet stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether strength can coexist with softness, or if true mastery requires embracing what others fear, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful act is simply refusing to look away. Press play, step on the moor, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by silence, hearts still find ways to speak. Your next favorite Highland mystery isn't waiting in perfect solves. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to honor the whole.